Yeah, except how good is it? They ran out of trees just here.
Not close enough to see him, but at least we've just met another figure in the case.
I'll stick to Mrs. Gordon's. That is, we can't see him. We ain't been introduced to him.
We have to do something about that.
Hey, Mrs. Gordon is scrambling.
Coming back along the path. We stay where we are.
Look, she's almost running.
Yes, probably on very good advice.
Huh?
She has to be on time for her appointment with the police. They might not approve of her having gone for a midnight stroll in the park on the night her husband died. Yeah, she's gone.
Yeah, but the guy is still there. We're interested in him now?
Mm-hmm. Very much interested. He'll have to come back this way. We can cut him off. Got to find out who he is. Hey, Louis. Got a handkerchief?
Why, you want I should blow my nose?
No. Do as I'm doing.
Oh, make like a masked bandit or something.
That's the general idea. Hurry, Louis.
Yeah. Okay. I do. I'm now a masked bandit, but I ain't happy.
Shh. I don't have a gun, but perhaps it'll work anyway.
What, the gun you don't have?
Yes, I'll double up my right hand in my coat pocket.
Here he comes.
Okay, stop right there, bud.
What?
Get behind him, Lefty.
I ain't left-handed. Oh, yeah. I'm behind him, Miggsy.
What is this?
Stick up. What do you think it is?
You can't do this.
Sure we can. Or maybe you like to argue so much you would prefer being ventilated?
Being what?
Shot.
Look, you don't have to shoot me.
More of your lip and I'll enjoy it. Shut up. Hand over your poker.
Hand over my what?
Boy, are you ignorant. The money bag, mister, the wallet.
Oh, here.
Thanks. Now keep walking the way you were, see? And don't try looking around. I ain't got no objections at all to shooting a guy in the back.
I won't look around. I won't.
Well, he's gone.
So he is.
Now, we ought to scram too, Mr. Templar. If he yells for cops...
I don't think he will. He might have to explain what he was doing in the park at this time of night.
He'd have an easier job than we would.
Let's see. His name is Timothy Kerrigan. Papers in his wallet. Member of the Bar Association. A lawyer, Louis.
Oh, fine. He'll probably sue us for nothing.
A lawyer? Most probably the lawyer for the Gordons.
Well, that would explain why Mrs. Gordon yelled for him, but why would they have to meet in the park?
I don't know, Louis, except that anywhere else they might have been seen together and overheard.
And that would be bad?
It might be murder.
Well, here's your house, Mr. Templar.
Yes, Louis.
Gonna go to sleep?
I imagine so. Nothing to be done tonight, so far as I know.
Yeah. Well, anyways, now we got 3 suspects instead of 2.
3?
Yeah, Mrs. Gordon, Kerrigan, and the butler.
The butler is never guilty, Louis. Hey, how about coming up for a drink?
What was that you said?
Come on, let's go.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Templar. About butlers. Maybe this one ain't guilty, but sometimes one could be, huh?
That's true, but the one we met tonight is too charming a character.
Yeah, don't look now, Mr. Templar.
Keep walking.
But your charming character is carrying around a young cannon.
Good evening. How's butling these nights, huh?
Go on. Inside the apartment.
With pleasure.
Now, hold it. Nobody move till I put the light on. Okay. All the way in. Now, sit down, both of you.
Courtesy?
No, you can't jump me easy sitting down.
Intelligence. We, sit. As for you, you're either an idiot or, in love.
It's the same thing.
I didn't come here to make conversation with you, Templar.
Why did you come?
To make sure you forgot about Mrs. Gordon's confession.
An idiot in love.
That's got nothing to do with you.
Suppose I refuse to forget Mrs. Gordon's confession.
You'll forget it, either by agreeing to or by being dead.
You want me to promise to say nothing of the confession to the police?
That's right.
Well, suppose I do promise, and then you leave, and then suppose I don't keep that promise.
No, why do you have to bring that up?
I come back.
And kill me then? What good would that do, Mrs. Gordon?
All right, if what you're getting is that the only way I can be sure is by killing you, then
How much was Mr. Gordon's life insured for?
$100,000. Wait, how did you know?
There had to be a motive for his death. A motive that would place Mrs. Gordon in danger of being considered likely to have murdered her husband. The Gordons had no money. Insurance was the most probable motive in existence.
Kerrigan handled the Gordon's finances?
Yeah.
Mrs. Gordon is in love with Kerrigan, isn't she?
No.
I think yes.
Who cares what you think?
All right. Let's find out how innocent Mrs. Gordon is. Look, pull the window shade down, Front window. Pull an armchair over to the window and sit in it.
Why?
You'll then be silhouetted prettily for the benefit of anyone outside in the street. The drawn shade will make it impossible for you to be identified exactly. Your build is much the same as mine. You will therefore appear to be me to anyone outside. You will also provide a perfect target.
To who?
To the only one who would have any reason for wishing me dead. The murderer of James Gordon. You love Mrs. Gordon. You're convinced she's innocent. She's been here before and should be able to find her way back. Well, will you sit in that chair? Two in the morning. And by this time, the police would long have reached Mrs. Gordon. They're probably finished with their preliminary questioning. She could plead sleepiness. They'll have left the Gordon home, allowing 15 minutes to get here. She should be arriving at almost any moment.
Shut up.
Well, naturally, you're not worried. Perfect target, though you make.
Yeah, and besides, Mr. Templar, even if she does shoot him, he'll be killed by the woman he loves. What more could a guy want?
I told you to...
Yes, you were saying?
That car.
Yes, I heard it.
It doesn't have to be her.
But I'm sure it is. High heels. Well, Mr. Butler?
I'm getting out of here.
He dives very nice.
And in time. I wonder, with no ready-made target for her, what will Mrs. Gordon do? You better get in the next room, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Louis. Will you open the door?
Oh, I don't mind if you do. I wouldn't like to get shot on your doorstep. It's no way to appreciate your hospitality.
I'll get it. Hello, Mrs. Gordon.
Oh, you're not alone.
No, that's Louis, remember? But better remember inside,
All right. Send him away.
Oh, I promised him a drink. He hasn't had it yet. I can't send him away.
But what I have to tell you is confidential.
Louis is in my confidence.
Well, all right. It might turn out more convenient if you're difficult.
About what?
Forgetting that I was ever here before. Forgetting I came to you with a confession of murder.
Sorry, but I have a remarkably retentive memory. For example, I remember a girl I used to go to school
You'd
with.
better forget her for the moment.
Oh, I couldn't. I loved her very deeply.
How would you feel about $25,000?
Oh, I love them very deeply, too. They're being offered to me for a promise to forget.
Yes.
And if I don't keep it?
You'll sign a paper admitting your promise and acceptance of the money. That would make you an accessory. You wouldn't dare change your mind.
Hey, she's smarter than
Be
me.
still, Louis. Mrs. Gordon, you're young, you're beautiful, and $25,000 is very attractive. Nevertheless, I shall refuse all of you.
Even if...
Yes, I wondered how long it would be before you produced that. The revolver you killed your husband with?
I didn't.
You could convince me in a lot better way.
Can I convince you?
Oh, yes, your confession helps.
It does.
Of course. Your husband's death makes you richer by $100,000, doesn't it?
Yes.
Otherwise, you had nothing.
Well, our investments, they were unfortunate.
Mr. Kerrigan handled them?
Yes, he's our lawyer.
So your husband handed over his money to Kerrigan. Did he also know he was handing over his wife as well?
What did you say?
I meant his life, of course. A natural slip of the tongue, you know.
You still haven't told me how my confession was going to help me.
I didn't say it would help you. I said it would help convince me you hadn't killed your husband.
Well, that's the same thing.
Not quite.
Mr. Templar, that was the back door.
Yeah, I know. I was saying, oh, yes. The fact that you didn't kill your husband is actually of minor importance in view of... Now would be a good time to borrow your gun. Louis, will you keep Mrs. Gordon company while I see what the boys in the back room are doing?
You're all right, Mr. Templar.
Yep. It was
was Kerrigan.
Uh-huh. I thought it would be.
He didn't see me. Came into the room, headed for the door to the living room. He'd sneaked it open a bit when I...
Is he alive?
Yeah, I just got him in the shoulder. He was working in the back while she was...
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Louis,
What, Mr. Templar?
will you phone the police? They've one wounded murderer to collect, one beautiful accessory before and after the fact.
Oh, no, no.
But of the highest class. Her butler will help her wait. More soda, Louis?
No. What are you trying to do? Drown me?
Here you are, Louis.
Oh, thanks a lot. Oh. Hey, Mr. Templar, look. I know Kerrigan shot Mr. Gordon on account of he and Mrs. Gordon were like that. This is a new phrase.
It'll catch on, Louis, believe me.
Yeah, also because they needed the insurance, though, to live happy ever after on, being the high-class types. But why did Mrs. Gordon confess to you before her husband got killed?
Oh, it was an attempt to establish an alibi for herself, Louis. She expected that I'd immediately phone the police or else take her back to her home to view the corpse. In the meanwhile, Kerrigan would murder Gordon. And that would have left Mrs. Gordon in the clear.
Yeah, but you didn't do either of those things. Why?
I didn't believe her.
Oh.
She had really killed her husband and was willing to take whatever consequences there might be. Why come to me?
Uh-huh. So that loused up her alibi. Especially because her husband, instead of staying home and getting shot, had become suspicious of her and he trailed her here. Huh?
And was in turn trailed by Kerrigan, who saw a natty opportunity for double-crossing Mrs. Gordon and keeping the money for himself. He handled the Gordons' affairs and had the power of attorney.
Yeah, but look, Mrs. Gordon's faint when you told her about her husband's death, that was real. You pointed that out yourself.
Of course it was, Louis. But she didn't faint at the news of her husband's death as such. The reason she fainted was because she realized that she'd confessed to me and that her husband had been shot at a time for which she had no alibi.
Uh-huh. Well, now I'm almost smart. Now I can enjoy my drink. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Hey, that lovesick butler tells me he's going back to Brooklyn on account of life in the upper classes is too low for his tastes.
Oh, poor fellow. He loved not wisely, but too well. On the other hand, what's wrong with Brooklyn?
You have been listening to another transcribed adventure of the Saint, the Robin Hood of modern crime. Now, here is our star, Vincent Price.
Ladies and gentlemen, in our cast you heard Joan Banks as Claire and Peter Leeds as her husband. Hy Averback was the butler, and Jim Nusser, Kerrigan. Larry Dobkin plays Louis. This is Vincent Price inviting you to join us again next week at this same time for another exciting adventure of the Saint. Good night.
This adventure of the Saint was written by Louis Vittes. The Saint, based on characters created by Leslie Charteris, is a James L. Safier production and is directed by Helen Mack. Vincent Price is soon to be seen co-starring in RKO's production of His Kind of Woman. All you Saint fans will be glad to know that the Saint comic books are on sale at all newsstands. Your announcer, Don Stanley. 3 chimes mean good times on NBC. Well, it's Sunday again. That means another gala broadcast of NBC's Big Show. This evening, hostess Tallulah Bankhead has a whole flock of guest stars, including Marlene Dietrich. And when the 2 glamour gals, Tallulah and Marlene, get together, look out for flying sparks. For drama this Sunday evening, Theater Guild on the Air presents the 10th story, The Third Man, starring Joseph Cotton and Signy Hasso. Join Tallulah and her Big Show with Marlene Dietrich later on NBC.